I remember you mentioned having to deal with a client who never paid you. Can you take me back to what happened?
So I called him that after I've sent your pictures, he said they are nice enough. He said he's going to send me my money when he's done fixing his house.
Was there a moment in that you thought something has to change in my business?
That was where I knew I needed to protect myself.
A lot of photographers might hear this and just think that, oh, okay, I need to go on Instagram and just search for every photographer, just text them. You've taken 1,000 photos at a wedding. How do you organize your files so it's easier for the clients to access and download?
So once I'm done doing my own selection, I upload it to Pixel website.
What's one area photographers can use AI to enhance their workflow, whether it's in their pitching, whether it's in their communication with clients?
So I literally use AI for every part, even editing.
Oh. You talk about something which is, you said photography is an experience. What do you mean by that? To wrap this up, what's one thing you feel every photographer needs to focus on to truly grow their photography business?
So the first thing I do is...
If you've ever chased a client for payment, this might be the most important conversation you watch this year. Today, I'm sitting with Adesoji Ajayi, the photographer who always gets amazing reviews from clients. He has 7 years of experience in the photography industry, and he gets paid 90% upfront before he even picks up a camera to shoot. Hey man, glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Finally.
Thank you for having me.
You know, you're literally the first person we've had an in-person conversation with.
Wow.
And it's been great. The environment is nice. Everything is just nice. We had a call a few weeks back where we talked about your experience as a photographer. Can you take me back to how you got started in photography and some challenges you faced?
Okay, so I started photography not because I love taking pictures, like every other photographer.
Yeah.
I started photography after trying to get into school. I wrote JAMB and I failed. So photography for me was or is a last chance. You know, after I've tried to get into school, I did not get into school, and though I've been moving along with photographers, but just assisting them to hold lights. They're going to pay me small money. So there was a particular day after writing a JAMB, was my brother coming home from the church, and he said, will you learn photography? And I said yes. I said yes, not because I wanted to learn photography. I said yes because I wanted to leave the house. So, I resumed the second day, the master class with, my boss, Mr. Michael. And, it just started like that.
Because, a lot of people where they'll say, how did you get into photography? They might just be like, oh, I loved it. It was a hobby for me. I loved it so much. But majority of people are like, okay, I need money to do a couple of things.
Yeah.
And photography is like one of the things I can learn from, like be creative with and also make money from it, basically. So when your friend reached out to you, how were the first few years?
Okay, so the first few years were more of my portfolio years. I hanged out with a whole lot of photographers.
Yeah.
I message people on Instagram to assist them to hold light and to just assist them in any way I can. So it was my portfolio years. Big shout out to AY Romeo. I messaged him when I wanted to switch from a full-blown portrait photographer into the event space. And he welcomed me and he said I should come and come shoot with him. So I started going. So my first few years, my first maybe 3 years were just more of my portfolio years, which I was just taking pictures for portfolio sake, basically just build my portfolio. Yeah.
Were you renting a camera? Did your friend give you a camera?
Okay. So my first 2 years, I was not renting, I was collecting. I will beg you, if I can use your camera, you give me. Then later, I discovered that the collecting started having some 1 or 2 issues. So then I started, so there's this, one of my friends that has camera. He just started, I taught him photography. So, like under my boss. So he had the camera. So I'm going to collect the camera from him. I'm promising that when I'm returning the camera back to him, I'm going to teach him something. So he's always eager to give me his camera because he knows that anytime I'm returning it back, I will teach him something. So that was how I started until one of my friends, someone just messaged me from Instagram and he said he wants to be my friend. And I said, okay. We came around and we just started and, he just gave me his camera. That was how I started using his camera for years until I got my. So, yes, the mobile one is just based on God's grace, 100%.
Why I ask is because there's this huge debate among photographers, which is a lot of photographers think that, okay, you have to have the most expensive gear. You have to be at the biggest event to really grow and, get clients. So does gear really matter as a photographer?
Gear matters. Gear matters, and also the person using the gear also matters. So you may have access to big cameras and don't know how to use it. So gear matters. Trust me, gear matters. Trust me, gear matters. Most importantly, the person using the gear, which is the photographer, also has a long way to go.
It's not just about having a camera. It's about knowing how to use it to get what you want.
What you want, yeah. Right? That is the best thing for me. Gear matters, 100%. I'm saying it again. Gear matters.
So, pardon me, I may have to look at my notes from time to time because I don't want the audience to miss out on incredible value we would give today. I remember you mentioned having to deal with a client who never paid you. You called him, he was like, never call me again. Can you take me back to what happened?
Okay, so that was around 2021. So I had a wedding through a friend, a referrer.
Yeah.
And so we talked, which he paid. Then I was still collecting, I think 50 or 70% upfront, to confirm your payment and to come to your event. So which we had to travel to Ibadan for the wedding, and I edited the pictures and I sent it to him using one of these delivery platforms. So I called him that after I've sent your pictures, he said they are nice, he loved them. After my balance now, he said he's going to send me my money when he's done fixing his house because they just moved to a new house, so he has to make sure that everything is set. And I was like, well, I've done my own part, which is to deliver your job. And up to today, chairman, God is watching you. He has not sent my money. So, this is one of the exciting part of using our Pixel because you can't owe me using our Pixel. You can't owe me anymore.
So you delivered a job, you poured your heart and soul into that job, and then the client just disappeared. Was there a moment in that you thought something has to change in my business?
That was where everything started from. That was where I knew I needed to protect myself. But I did not know what to or how to protect myself. I know that I need to use maybe terms and conditions, but even with your terms and conditions, that one does not mean that they are still going to pay. So I needed a platform that I could use. There was a particular platform I was using, but that one is just to lock the full gallery.
Yeah.
Which the clients will not be able to preview. Yes. So there was a platform then, but it is just to lock the full gallery that the clients may not be able to preview at all. But with our Pixel, you can preview, but you'll not be able to download if you have not paid your money. So yes. So
if you don't know what our platform is a platform for African photographers that solves the challenges of having to send your work to a client, and then just like Adesoji said, the client tells you, oh, I'm building my house, or oh, never call me again. So with our Pixel, you can stop all that, get paid, deliver faster, and not have headaches, basically. What made you give our Pixel a shot?
So for me, I came across our Pixel through sponsored ad. So I'm a part of the ad guys. So I through sponsored ad and I decided to try it. So at first, when I tried it, I did not understand what was really going on until I gave it another try. One of the reasons why I used our Pixel the second time was because I needed the client to select, and I don't want her to screenshot or keep the selected file. So what brought me back to our Pixel was not basically because of the balance, but it was because of selection. So when I saw that they have a very good selection, a selection platform where you can send it to a client and he or she can select, and you see it at the back end and get the selection. There's like a watermark preview feature on it, which makes so much sense to every single photographer. So it means that client cannot screenshot, that picture and send it to another retoucher or photographer to edit it. So it's the full protection was what brought me back to Pixel. Then I now discovered that they now have the feature that I've always been looking for to protect me, which is the payments or balance, collection of plastic.
Few minutes ago, while we were having a conversation before we started recording, you mentioned having to deal with a client who screenshotted the photo, gave it to another photographer to edit, removed your watermark, and then posted it. How did that make you feel?
I felt bad though. I was not happy. It's even an edited picture. So I edited it and I sent it to the client. And she said the picture, she wants it to be very milky, which I just did a normal proper retouching. So she sent it to, an editor, another photo. I think not photographer, or editor. The person who edited the picture, and she removed, my watermark, which is so bad. It's so bad, but I think these are just one or two stuffs we see. Let me say what ads that I will see as photographer. But trust me, they are getting closer to being protected.
I think it's something a lot of photographers face because photography is not an easy job. You have to it requires patience, it requires creativity, it requires time and effort.
Yes.
Then you having to edit a client's work, spend hours, sleepless nights editing, and then they just take a screenshot, give it to an editor, and it's not even going to be as good as what you did.
Yes.
So if you want to, just as Adesoji said, he uses our Pixel to stop that from happening. You mentioned getting 90% upfront payments since you switched to our Pixel.
Yeah.
How did that impact your business in terms of your confidence, your revenue, and even your workflow?
Okay, so from the time, like I said, I've always been looking for a platform where I'm protected as a creative, as a photographer, which our Pixel has really given me what I'm looking for. So now I charge for every of my packages. I have a policy that you have to make a payment of 90% before the day of your shoot. So so it means you can start paying from any time, from our negotiation time to maybe a day to your event or your book date. So, and the 10%, sure, you cannot keep my 10% because Pixel is there to to protect me from you keeping my 10%. So, yeah, that has really made my work more. I feel more appreciated now.
Yeah.
I feel more protected. Yes. So I feel more appreciated because I can get my money from your clients, because I know that if you are not making my payments, in fact, when I'm uploading to the website, I impute your balance to it. So which Pixel, they know how to do the rest. My own is I will just see my balance in my account. When they started, they are going to send me mail to confirm if I've seen the payment. But now they just find a way to see it. They get a notification that the client has made the payment.
Yes.
And I get it. So it's a big one for me. Yeah.
We talk with a lot of photographers, and one thing they always talk about is clients running away with their balance payments.
Oh, wow.
So because it's actually a big issue, because when you think about it, take for example a Nigerian photographer. He has, let's say, 100 clients a year, and on each client he gets 70% deposit. Then the remaining 30% is about 350,000 naira. If he's not able to retain that 350 naira for the remaining 99 clients, then that's about 15 million naira lost in just 1 year. So it's a lot to lose, because you have to invest in your gear, invest in your studio, invest in your business. And you can't do that if you keep losing money. So our Pixel is here to stop that. You talked about something before we started recording, which is clients' experience, helping your clients get the best experience possible as a photographer. And you said something about growing with your clients. Can you talk more on that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So for me, my journey into photography is a very it's a very marvelous journey. Let me say that one. So I've seen and worked with clients from different levels, from from like the basic to like the extreme levels, by God's grace. And I know that fingers are not equal. So the first thing I do when any clients reach out to me is to get to know what they want, because as photographers we are also I call us, we are satisfiers. We try to meet people's need, and in return we get money. So the first thing I do is I tend to know their wants. So I tend to know what they want. So why am I on board? What am I coming to do for you? So once I know what they want, I create a particular package that suits what they want. So from there, I'm satisfying them. So because one thing I discovered in this industry is we all have different packages. We have different packages for different people. And there are some of our packages that not everyone will be able to, to get. Even if you still drop it to like the list, there will still be some people that are unable to afford you. So sure, not that I'm trying to be cheap, but I'm just trying to be affordable, because business is, inflow. So we need to keep it coming. So as much as we want to, I and my team want to, serve everyone, but sure, we know that we cannot serve everyone.
Yeah.
But sure, if a client come to us or come to me, we tend to create a particular package suiting the client's, budget. If the budget is still within, something that we can work around with. So not that you now come with all ridiculous prices and that's it.
Yeah.
No, but at least if your budget is within a particular range, that we know that sure, we can give you something good, sure.
You talked about knowing the client's wants.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Are there questions you need to ask? Is there anything you do to get to know the client's specific wants?
Yes. So there are questions I ask. I ask lots of questions from the negotiations to, I asked lots and lots of questions, but stylishly and jokingly. So not that you're coming, you're booking me and you're trying to solve to do an exam. No. I just start asking bit by bit. Okay, how can I do this? How can I do this? What do you want? So first thing I do is I ask your want. So I tell you to express yourself as much as you can.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you want. So I let you tell me what you want. Then from what you want, I tend to start breaking down, okay, this is what you want. This is what you want. I write it down and I send it to you.
So, do you mean like when you say what you want, is it like, okay, this is the type of pose I want. This is the type of background.
Type of background. Yes. You want an outdoor? Do you want an indoor?
Yeah.
If it is a wedding, what type of wedding do you want? How many days? How many photographers?
Yeah.
Do you get for your deliverables? Do you want photo book? How many frames do you want? Do you get for workmanship or photographers? Do you want 4 photographers? Do you want 5 photographers? I even asked to the type of camera you want to use.
Yeah.
I even asked to the extent of the type of color grading you want. Because there are some clients, if you don't ask all those questions, they just book you. Some don't even get to preview your page. And they have a particular knowledge of maybe like the type of style that they have seen somewhere, maybe like Oga Badge or, Big H or any photographers that they have screenshotted. So they don't know if you can do that style. So I asked all those questions in detail to know. So if it is style that I know that I will have to buy presets because of you, sure, I will buy it. I'll buy the preset, but sure, you be the one to pay for it. But sure, I have like a style that I shoot my photograph, but that one does not mean I cannot, go and learn a particular style because of you. And if I see that your style that you're giving me is too much, please go and book the photographer. So that you're not, because some clients are very funny. They will have a particular style in mind and they did not communicate it to you. And when you start editing, they will now start telling you that no, they don't like the way you edit this. But I have a particular style. You saw my style before booking it. So these are like few, problems that photographers go through from clients. So I tend to stop that from just making inquiries, ask every single question as much as possible from the client. So from that way, I'm already getting what they want already. And from getting what they want, I can also give them
Deliver.
the bill that suits what they want. So in a way, so if I give them the bill and tell them that from what you want, so this bill was generated from what you want. So if you don't want this, I will not start advising them. Since you said you want 3 photo books, you can reduce it to 1. You want 5 frames, you can reduce it to 3. So from that, you will see that you are, even if you are increasing, even if you are going out of your budget, it is not too much, but trust me, you are not going to follow your budget. For sure, we are going to give you something to suit, but that budget, you will leave that space, depending on the package you are picking.
So we've talked about how to know what the clients want. So now we know how to grow with the clients. We know the questions to ask to know what the client wants. So now, how much do we charge? How do you, as a photographer, determine how much to charge, especially if it's something new? Let's say you usually shoot in a studio and then you have a client that wants an outdoor photo shoot. How do you determine how much to charge?
Okay, so pricing is one part that most photographers don't talk about. So, and I will not still talk about it, but I'm going to give us few hints or a few ideas on how I create my pricing. As a photographer, before you feel you can charge, you need to first see that, are you giving the value of what you are collecting? Do you understand? If you are collecting a particular amount, are you delivering something much more better than what you are collecting? You get as a photographer. So it depends on you as a photographer to know that, okay, if you are charging this particular amount of money, am I delivering even more than what they are paying me? That is one. Number two, I feel gadget also adds to it, because if you are charging a particular amount of money, your gadget also needs to make sense. So are you using a gadget that, what the amount you are pricing? Do you get? So for pricing, for me, is relative. Is depends on who you are as a person, and then depending on your amount of time and energy you have put into your portfolio. So yes, that also has a way of helping you in your pricing. So yes. So for me now, answering your question of a new package, maybe a client requested, so I'm going to reach out to people, because like they say, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. So I reach out to people that I feel they are in that industry. Sure, there are some photographers that they don't shoot indoor, they shoot studio. I reach out to them, I chat them up. That's why we have social media. You go to, not everybody have time to reply, but try as many as possible. DM them and ask them, sorry, I think I have a client, for this particular package. Can you give me like an idea? Not necessarily give me your price, but like an idea of what you charge. Then then ask few questions from the person also. So you are not just going to charge, you are not just going to overcharge or the one that is most painful on that charge yourself. Yes. And better still, if you know that you cannot do the job, refer the client to that photographer that does it full time. So not all, for example, not all photographers shoot children or babies. So we have people like Captured by Shewa that they are children photographers. They are professional in it. You get? So
Just to be clear, because a lot of photographers might hear this and just think that, oh, okay, I need to go on Instagram and just search for every photographer, just text them. I think what Adesoji means is you have to curate the photographers you ask. Go through their page. Are they doing what you're trying to achieve? So that's what you need to do to know the right photographers to ask. And sure, many people would not reply to you because everyone is busy, surely. But the more you text photographers, you would surely get one reply. And just as I said, you have to ask questions to grow. How important is research? Because we were talking also before, you talked about doing research and also, how it's helped you in your business.
Okay, so research is something that I have 4 rules, and every person I try and I have contact with, like maybe I have opportunity to teach, I tell them that I have 4 rules. The 4 rules is read, rest, research, and revise or review. Now, research is a key point, because when you research, you get to learn more information. You get to know what you don't know. Like they say, what you don't know is bigger than you. So as photographers, we are researchers because even if you don't know the name, you tend to see it on somebody else's page and you want to look for it. So there was a particular time that, our big brothers in the industry started posting pictures using Instagram carousel. So carousel is like when you swipe through, you will still see like the rest images. I looked for it. I went to Google and I pressed funny write-ups. How can I put my Instagram picture that when I swipe through, just funny until I came across, a video in YouTube after long time of researching because I could not DM Amazing Clef because it was his it was his page. I saw that. I tried it, but I could not get it until I researched for it. I had to, ask people. Most photographers, the ones, in my circle don't know how to do it. So I had to research it to get which was spending time and, hours on YouTube to get that. So researching is a time for you to explore. It's a time for you to get to know what you don't know or what you don't have access to. But thank God with internet, you literally have access to anything as far as you can get a name for it or a style for it or an hashtag. You will always look for it. Yes, so you always see. So research, we as humans, we are researchers. And I feel research makes us get better as a person.
And I think Google should be your friend on YouTube. Because personally, I've learned a lot from YouTube because everyone wants to share. And, you don't know who is who. Like you can ask a question thinking, oh, this person might not respond to me, but they might respond. And that response might change your entire life, your entire business. One struggle photographers also face is taking lots of pictures, lots of photos, especially at weddings, right? You take pre-wedding, you take the proposal, you take engagement and so on.
Right.
How do you stay organized as a photographer?
Okay, so there are AI applications that you can use, but there is this particular application I started using way back. It's called Photo Mechanic. The applications, if you shoot 4, 5, 6 cameras, you just need to import all the pictures into it, and you can make your selection from it. And if you're using like updated versions of Lightroom, it also help me. But Photo Mechanic helped me arrange it according to my shooting time. But Lightroom, you can still use it, but Photo Mechanic is the app that I use, and I can also recommend. But though it's a little bit old, but there are other applications that you can use for that. But for selection for clients,